Have you ever wondered why, despite all the fat-free foods, weight loss programs, and gym memberships, so many of us seem to be getting fatter? Every day, everywhere, we're bombarded with countless numbers of ads and articles all telling us how to lose fat. But did you know that your body already knows how? As you eat, your body converts food into glucose, a simple sugar that travels through your bloodstream. This glucose is the primary food for your cells. Whether it's a muscle cell, a brain cell, or a cell in our heart, they all feed on glucose. As glucose moves through your bloodstream, your pancreas produces a hormone called insulin. Insulin is the gatekeeper of your cells. It opens the door, allowing glucose to enter in and be used for your energy needs. Without insulin, your cells can't be fed from the food you eat. But what if you eat more than you need? Well, along with your brain cells and muscle cells, you also have fat cells. Your cells never eat more than they need. So when you have more glucose than your cells can allow in, the excess amount enters fat cells. Once the glucose is out of your bloodstream, with your cells having been fed, and the surplus having been stored away in your fat cells, then insulin closes the doors to your cells and slowly leaves your body. When your body needs more energy, or glucose, and you don't have any food handy, it turns to the fat cells and the free fatty acids stored inside them. These free fatty acids leave your fat cells and go right back into the bloodstream to feed all your other cells. They don't need insulin to open the cell doors. That's why they're referred to as free fatty acids. This natural process of storing fat when you have too much glucose and burning fat when you don't have enough glucose is how your body was designed to work. And in a perfect world, eating a perfect diet, everything works perfectly. Unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world, and most of us don't even come close to eating a perfect diet. As a result, we don't benefit from this natural process very often. Instead, we suffer by storing too much fat and rarely, if ever, burning any. Let's take a look at a typical breakfast in our imperfect world. When you get up in the morning, the first thing you might have is a breakfast fairly high in sugar and processed foods. When this kind of food enters your body, it's converted into glucose very quickly and rushes into the bloodstream. The more sugary the food, the faster and higher your blood sugar or glucose level rises. Your pancreas senses the sudden spike in glucose and responds by pumping out insulin, creating an insulin spike to correspond to the fast-rising glucose. The insulin does its job and opens the door to your cells. All of your working cells are fed, and all of the excess glucose is then stored in your fat cells. Now, this process happens fast. Once insulin arrives, the glucose level in your bloodstream goes back down pretty quickly. However, it takes much longer for insulin to leave the body. So even though the glucose level in your bloodstream comes down fairly quickly, your insulin level remains high. This can be a significant problem because as long as there is insulin still in your body, the free fatty acids stored in your fat cells can't be accessed. Remember, free fatty acids don't need insulin to allow them into the cells, but they do need insulin to be gone before they can leave your fat cells. Your body needs constant energy, but the free fatty acids can't leave your fat cells. On come the cravings, the irritability, and so you eat. Your glucose level then spikes right back up. Your body releases even more insulin. The doors open, the cells are once again fed, and excess glucose is put into your fat cells. With your insulin level remaining high, you're still not able to release any fatty acids, so you continue adding to the fat storage but never taking any out. This cycle continues through lunch, mid-afternoon snacks, dinner, and so on. You literally end up bathing your body in insulin all day long and for much of the night. After a while, all that insulin takes a toll on the human body. We age much faster than normal, and many of us develop type 2 diabetes. There is a way to break this cycle. Unicity Balance, a simple, natural way to restore the body's natural fat-burning process. Instead of the spike in glucose and insulin we typically experience, drinking Balance before or during a meal allows a more mild release of these two elements. This milder release allows the insulin levels to mirror glucose levels and therefore burn out at about the same time as the glucose. When these two levels drop together, our fat cells are now able to release the free fatty acids, and we enter what we call the fat-burning zone, the period of time in which the body burns off excess fat. No more cravings and no more feeling tired. After a couple of hours in the fat-burning zone, we're ready to have balance with our next meal, and we start the cycle again.